Sonic the Hedgehog is one of the most iconic video game heroes alongside Mario, Link, and Ryu. However, I want to talk about his exact opposite. No, not Shadow, but the mad scientist Dr. Robotnik. So, with now out of the way, let's talk about the history and the development of Dr. Robotnik. Or Eggman, pick your preference. Unlike my history of Samus Aran, the Sonic series has a large library of games that don't really link to each other, and the story to most of the games don't really drive character development. So I will be talking about some of the key games that have made an impact on the character. Back when Sega was in the console business, the Mega Drive was doing pretty well with games like Ultra Beast and Golden Axe. However, there was one thing they didn't compare to Nintendo, and that was a recognizable mascot. Well, they did have Axe Kid, however the series didn't really bring figures compared to the entire affair. So they went back to the drawing board to come up with a new character. There were many designs that the staff came up with, such as a rabbit, a middle-aged man in his pajamas, and more. However, all were topped by Naoto Oshima's design of a hedgehog who eventually became Sonic. However, some of the ideas were later used in some way or another, including the middle-aged pajama man who transformed into Dr.Eggman, due to the team really enjoying the character design so much. They basically took the design, switched his pajamas for a scientist attire, and gave him more of the villain. The character was originally called Dr. Eggman in Japan, but when it came to the American release of Sonic the Hedgehog, they decided to change his name to Dr. Robotnik to make the character sound more evil and menacing. In the original Sonic game released in 1991, the story was pretty simple. Dr. Robotnik kidnaps all the animal critters on South Island, and Sonic tries to save the animals from the tyrant. Chaos Emeralds exist in this game, although they don't really have a narrative purpose, just for detonated ending. Dr. Robotnik is eventually defeated by the Hedgehog, and peace is restored. In most of the games, Dr. Robotnik's goal is to rule the world with an iron fist and claim his own Eggman land. In Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the scientist's plan is to gather all 7 Chaos Emeralds to fully utilize his weapon of mass destruction, known as the Deathhead. After the events of Sonic 2, Dr. Robotnik's Deathhead was destroyed by Sonic and Tails, and the bad Dr. Crash lands on a floating island, which happens to be the home of Dr. the Echidna, the guardian of the Master Emeralds. To rebuild the Deathhead and gather all the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald, he manages to manipulate the Echidna to take down the dynamic duo. Keeping the heroes occupied, he rebuilds the Deathhead. However, he eventually fails yet again by the 3 heroes. After Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the main series was put on hold as Sega attempted to transition to 3D. Sonic Adventure was released for the Sega Dreamcast, and both the gameplay and the characters shift drastically. The most notable transition was the Doctor himself, growing taller and less round than his Mega Drive counterpart. This was also the first time that Dr. Eggman was targeted in all regions of the world, and the first time he used a giant monster to do his bidding, which started the trend for the series. Dr. Eggman decides to destroy the city known as Stasis Square, and to create Eggman Land, with the might of Chaos and a legendary guardian of the Chaos Emeralds who went berserk many decades ago. The being known as Chaos becomes more powerful the more emeralds it consumes. It manages to consume all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and unfortunately for the Doctor, he was unable to contain it. Perfect Chaos arrives and destroys Stasis Square. Dr. Eggman attempted to defeat the monster with the Egg Carrier 2, although failed badly. It wasn't until Super Sonic tamed the beast and the day was saved. We are then proceeding to the last Sega console game in the series, Sonic Adventure 2, when Dr. Eggman became fully playable in the mainstream title. The game is divided into 2 groups: the hero side story featuring Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and the dark side with Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge. In the beginning of the dark side story, the mad scientist enters the military group known as Gun's secret facility to get his hand on his grandfather's biggest creation, Shadow. Shadow said he would run him 1 last risk in exchange for the Chaos Emeralds and meet him on a space on the Ark for future meetings. This is probably the most screen time that we see of Dr. Eggman in the entire series. Soon later on in the game, they retrieve all but 1 Chaos Emerald in which Tails holds as well as a fake emerald to ruin the Doctor's plan. So in order to retrieve the last emerald, he takes Amy hostage at gunpoint.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And demands Sonic to give him the final emerald, or he will kill Amy. Sonic enters the room where Amy and Tails are also there, and Sonic places the emerald in the center of the room. However, Eggman knows that it's a fake and traps Sonic and sends him to his doom. He manages to get the real emerald from Tails while he was distracted by Sonic's surprise comeback, as he survived the crash Dr. Eggman created. He then installed it into the Ark, now will end all life on Earth. However, this is not what he wanted. He wants to conquer the world, not destroy it. With the help of the rest of the characters, the Ark becomes stable enough to start crashing towards the Earth, and the day was saved. Dr. Eggman stayed practically the same with the majority of the games down the line. It wasn't until Sonic Unleashed that he finally created Eggman with the help of the power of Dark Gaia, until Sonic demolished his plans yet again. Sonic Unleashed was also when they added back his comical nature alongside the other characters, with Sonic Colors amplifying the comical effect. In Sonic Colors, Dr. Eggman performs a Dr. Wily and apologizes for his past crimes and builds a theme park, but instead of changing his ways, he has been gathering the aliens known as Whips to power his theme park. Well, that's slavery added onto the list. Unfortunately for him, his plans are ruined again by Sonic and Tails, and gets lost in space. However, while stuck in space, he manages to discover a powerful force known as the Time Meter and gets revenge on the Blue Hedgehog. He encounters his classic self and the two Eggman work together. Dr. Eggman isn't really seen much till the end of the game, and by the powers of the Supersonics, the Time Meter gets destroyed and both the Eggman get stuck in limbo. I wonder how they come back. Sonic Lost World does not really explain that. Maybe we have to wait for Sonic Forces for that to happen. In Sonic Lost World, the scientist has taken control over the 6 creatures known as the Deadly Six, who trust Sonic. However, thanks to Sonic's rash actions, he destroys Eggman's device that has control of them, and the Deadly Six are out of control. Now, Eggman, Sonic and Tails have to stop them. Throughout the game, we actually see more of his human side, and personally, I kind of feel sorry for him, mostly due to the fact that Sonic and Tails are kind of exerting this game, until the end of the game where Dr.Robotnik becomes evil again. Here, what's this clip of one clip from Sonic Lost World.
Alas, poor Cubot, I knew him well.
Arr! Me voice chip's all cattywampus!
Thanks to Sonic, everything's gone cattywampus. My cacophonic conch was the only thing keeping those 6 maniacs in check.
Some sort of a natural inhibitor to their powers. Very painful.
And very rare. The Zeti have an innate ability to manipulate magnetic fields. They can make electronics, including my mechs, do interesting things. I controlled those powers with the conch, until Sonic punted it away with his typical stupidity.
Well, get lost, Eggman, and let us get things under control.
I hope the Zeti eat you alive, you meddling hedgehog.
Okay, if it pleases the court, all those who think Eggman is a total bonehead raise their hands.
Well, there you go, folks. The motion is passed unanimously.
I didn't raise my hand.
Besides the Sonic Boom games, no new game has been released, so yes, check to his skills and abilities. Dr. Eggman apparently has an IQ of 300, which is incredibly smart and would be considered the smartest guy on the planet. From what I've gathered searching on the internet, the person who even comes close to this man is named William James Cetus, whose IQ is around 250 to 300. William James Cetus was an incredible child prodigy who is skilled in mathematical and linguistic abilities, who entered Harvard University at the age of 11 and graduated at the age of 16. The most gifted minds are Albert Einstein, who came up with the theory of relativity, and Stephen Hawking, who both have an estimated IQ of 160, which is around half as Eggman's. He has also created multiple armies worth of robots of all shapes and sizes in the last 25 years. In the Mega Drive games, these robots, also known as bandits, were powered by animals, and games such as Sonic Heroes and Colors introduced the Ed Pawns, which carry a good number of equipment such as blasters, spears, and spike shields. Besides his minions, he also has a variety of big bad bosses, including Ed Robo, which sometimes replaces himself in Sonic & Knuckles, the 100 series, which are armed with many tools at their disposal, and Metal Knuckles, which is similar to the Red Nintendo. There have also been robot variations of Sonic, including Silver Sonic, who is slow and bulky, armed with cannon spikes, Metal Sonic, who like Silver is slow and bulky, but with added firepower, and to go super with the power of the Master Emerald, and the most famous one, Metal Sonic, who is just as fast as the Blue Bird, and in Sonic Heroes also possesses the ability to copy and stand other life forms. In Heroes, Metal Sonic transforms into the Metal Overlord, in which he can fly and harness the power of Chaos Control, which can freeze time. Although with many creations on his grasp, a few of them do betray him, especially the ones who turn out to have their own faults. In Sonic Adventure, E102 Gamma goes rogue and destroys the E100 series in order to reach the birds inside them. E123 Omega has a personal vendetta against Eggman, and Metal Sonic even kidnaps him in order to destroy Sonic and crew in Sonic Heroes. Although being considered as one of the greatest minds on the planet, he is quite childish and has a quick temper, making him forget even the most simple of consequences. Dr. Eggman is also egotistic, similar to characters such as Brain from the cartoon Pinky and the Brain, and Sheldon Cooper from the TV sitcom The Big Bang Theory, where he boasts his intelligence and superiority to the world. He does have someone who he does look up to, and that is his grandfather, Professor Dr.Robotnik. Here is a part of the ending scene in Sonic Adventure 2.
As a child, I looked up to my grandfather because of all the great things he accomplished in his life. He was my hero, and I wanted to be a great scientist like him. But did he really mean to destroy us?
I don't know, but what I do know is we all did it together!
You're right.
It shows that Dr. Robotnik had someone that inspired him to the man he is today, and that Professor Jared was some sort of father figure to him, even though we never saw any flashbacks between the two characters. Interestingly enough, Professor Jared in his final moments went insane and sworn revenge onto the world, and while Eggman hasn't wished to destroy the world, he has become mad with power, and possibly in Sonic Forces, he has reached that point as like his grandfather. I've noticed that Eggman and Sonic are practically the exact opposites, making them work off each other. Eggman represents imprisonment, order, and artificial, and while Sonic represents freedom, chaos, and nature. The order side of Eggman is more noticeable in the Sonic comics and the Sonic Satan cartoon, where Eggman is basically a dictator controlling all of the planet. I've noticed that the title theme to the original Mega Drive, Dr. Eggman is similar to Sega's previous mascot, Alex Kidd. What if Dr. Eggman is the adult version of Alex Kidd, and the reason of his evilness is that he is jealous of Sonic's popularity and cost him a job at Sega's front man? In all seriousness, I think Dr. Eggman and Sonic are like two sides of the same coin, and one would not work well without the other. Another thing seems interesting is that Sonic and Eggman kind of fall into the Red Oni and Blue Oni trope. The Red Oni is linked with passion, wild, and normally hot-blooded, while the Blue Oni is normally linked with intellectual, observance, and authority. Although, funny enough, is that the colours for the two characters have swapped. This is probably unintentional, but it's fun to analyse it. In most of the games, most notably in the recent titles, Dr. Eggman is targeted as the comical villain. These are Saturday morning cartoon kind. He is the lightning rod character where he gets insulted on the most. I believe Sonic Adventure 2 is where Dr. Eggman shines as a full developed character. Giving him a playable role really helps the players understand his mannerisms and gives them enough time to know more than just "I want to rule the world" villain. And adding his grandfather into the universe really gives him motive to his character. Besides the one-liners like,
You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier.
To me, he is one of the most iconic villains in gaming and in media, and with a series where characters aren't really a strong point, Eggman really stands out.
The story begins with who's gonna